Well, hello.
Oh, hello, friends. Isn't this like Masterpiece Theater, this background?
Where are you now?
I'm in Sonoma.
Sonoma County, wine country. You've got a bottle of wine there for me?
Oh, I sure do.
so hang on, but you were leaving to go to Florida and Sonoma is north. I assume you're heading on the way up to Alaska, cross the Bering Strait, go down through Russia and China and somehow get to Florida. Maybe we'll be there in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually. What's my rush? It's the December 4th episode of Health in 2.0.
So Jessica, I've been having a lot of important work since you abandoned me a couple of days ago. I just talked to Glenn Tillman for a conference that we're going to do in Japan next week about healthcare IPOs. And there's a real massive healthcare IPO coming up next week. Did you notice?
I saw that because it has the same initials as me, JD Health.
It's the Jessica DeMassa IPO. Finally, you're going to make it.
Finally.
$28 billion is going to be the value.
$28 billion is the value.
Yeah, and it's like a $4 billion IPO. Are you familiar with this organization? You own it, so you must know something about it.
Well, yes. No, all I know is that it's Chinese, but what do they do?
Oh, it's kind of like Roman or Hims. It's like an online. They have 77 million customers though, and their revenue is over $1 billion. And it's basically it's an online doctor who'll prescribe you a pill. So it's kind of like.
And this is going public on the 8th, right?
Yeah, in Hong Kong. But I mean, compared to we were excited about the IPOs here. This is like 10 times the size.
Woohoo! Let's just put this into perspective. I'm surprised that there hasn't been more of a rush to get into the Chinese market, but I know it's hard. So.
Well, you got those guys. You've got We Doctor and Good Doctor and I'm a Doctor and You're Not a Doctor and all these other companies. So funny, but there is stuff still happening in good old US of A, right?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of stuff happening. You should set your little timer over there and let's get it done. Oh my God, these are like massive deals again, just crazy. Everlywell gets $175 million in a Series D. This is well-deserved money as far as I'm concerned.
Well, what? So Julia Cheek, right, is the CEO, has been, I interviewed her earlier this year because they started, right, they do all these weird home tests. It's not like cholesterol and stuff. It's like, diet and that and color and stuff. But they did with very early on getting into, got approval. And it was kind of murky there for home COVID testing. And I'm sure we are going to see a massive spike in that as a spike in COVID over the next few months while we sort of wait for the vaccine to finally make it. It's going to be huge. So that's a big part of it. But I think, at-home testing is going to have its moment when people figure out that at-home COVID testing is the way to go. One of those has been approved already, and I'm sure that they're in the pipeline to deliver that one. I'm also seeing them on TV a bit, and also Let's Get Checked, which is one of their competitors. My friends at You Do Test and some others are all piling to that market. So expect to see a lot more home testing, more kind of stuff.
All right. Everybody's favorite keto startup, Virta Health, raises $65 million. This brings their valuation to $1 billion. I can't believe that.
How much is in there so far? 220 million, something like that?
Something like that. It's a lot.
So Sammy Inniken, right? He made a fortune for Sequoia on his real estate play, Trillia. And I think they're one of the ones in this round as well. So, it's back to, can you get keto? Can you do it for long enough? So they seem to be growing, but it's a vertically integrated entire clinic in a box. And good luck to them.
But there's questions about the recurring revenue there, but Olive Health, who we just talked about, the last episode with their $225 million raise, has already acquired somebody, Verata Health. Why is this a big deal?
Because Verata Health is a bit like, there was a company called Cover My Meds that got bought by McKesson for $1 billion for doing prior authorization with drugs. Verata Health's trying to do the same sort of thing, using AI for prior auth. Pretty cool.
All right, and your favorite DTX company, Click Therapeutics.
Oh, I was trying to get out of there so the timer rooster would come before I had to talk about them.
Oh, no.
What has Click done this time?
I always love ending with the digital therapeutics, just to spike that blood pressure before you go. So they've raised $30 million in debt financing. It is, this is like they haven't raised money since 2018. Sanofi led their last round. This brings their total up to like 57 million, but It's to expand.
Like I mean, you know, it's like they've been delayed getting some of this stuff through the FDA a little bit, but it comes down to their business model, which you may have alluded to the fact that I'm not a big fan of, is to find, you know, trials that worked, and then try and take them to the those trials through the FDA and call this thing a therapeutic and charge accordingly. Those of you who follow the back and forth on the sort of exits and outcomes of Brian Dolan said, you know, he's remarked that there's been a bunch of people, I forget, there was an industry association which picked on Click in particular and said that they didn't recommend their therapeutics because they thought the change in the clinical trial from the one that they were getting validated, which had been done, you know, let's say in a doctor's office with a computer, to a mobile app on a phone without a doctor around, was too big a change. There's a lot of fuss and controversy, but the whole thing is, in the end, if you look at it, you know, a digital therapeutic should be a lot cheaper and more scalable than an actual pill. And a lot of the prices these guys want to charge is a lot higher than that. So we shall see how they do, but I'm definitely on the, you know, their model is not one which I think is going to be sustainable long term, because I don't think people will pay that much for software.
I don't know. We'll see. They signed that big deal with Boehringer Ingelheim earlier this year.
And I think, you know, they keep on. And Boehringer Ingelheim actually did another invested in a small digital therapeutic for migraine in Germany this week as well. So, you know, there's a lot of this moving around. You know, that they came down to in the end, and I know that Brian reported on this, you know, a while back. A bunch of pharma people at conferences all talking about how could they get the value out of these digital therapeutics. When pharma people start talking about value, that means putting the price up. Right? And, you know, we know what the impact of high pharma pricing has been in the US. You know, the main reason why a big reason why the Democrats won the House. You have all the stories you've had over the years of this, and now we have, of course, the therapeutics coming for COVID, which, you know, God knows what the one that Trump got and Chris Christie got. God knows what the price of that's going to be when that hits the wild. We got the price of the vaccine, which apparently is going to be free for everybody, but who knows what the taxpayer is going to pay for it. So this whole issue of pricing of this stuff is going to come back. And at a time when the price of actually the pills, you know, so for it's boring. All right.
Wrap over there.
Wrap it up. This issue of pricing is not going to go away. I'm clearly interfering with your get a bottle opener, take us out of here.
No, there's a wine tasting in the lobby. I'm gonna just put my mask on and cruise down there first.
Well, good luck on the way out. You know, when you get to Alaska, let me know.
I will. This is the only way to go to Florida. Go up instead of down. Oh man, Mr. Holt. All right, so if you want to DM me some directions about how really I should get to Florida, please tweet.
You've already had an offer to stop in Colorado.
I know. Well, I'm headed over.
You're nowhere near there either.
Mike Pacelli. So yeah, you can tweet your directions to me at Jess Devassa. And if you'd like to encourage Bolty Boy to talk a little bit more about DTX pricing and the pricing of every other aspect of healthcare, he's easy to provoke. All you got to do is tweet him at Bolty Boy. Make sure not to miss an episode of Health 2.0. Sign up to our email newsletter at thehealthcareblog.com. We have a lot of great content from the blog curated on there and available for you to read through, in addition to watching our video. Mr. Holt.
Have fun down in the reception lobby. I'm going to feed my kids SpaghettiOs or something.
Oh, that sounds like a good night.
I'd rather be in the reception lobby with you.
Yeah, I should say so. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for joining us.